Hmm. Okay. Have to go there. Hadrick's house. We have to go away over there for that stuff. Oh, this will be DA then. This will be that quest. Maybe?
Greetings.
The Orlin man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His whirly hair stands nearly on end, and his ears pick up as you approach. You carry whispers, Kate Noir, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. You know. The Orlin grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downwards, not as much as I would like. Unfortunately, my duties for Lady Web requires me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dinwood Road? To show him straight off. He holds the page but seems to stare through the words as if something woven in the fabric of the paper. Kurren bares his pointed teeth. I remember Pelham, a preening peacock of a man, his mouth dry and hands moist when I told. Oh, that's who this is, right? I told her he was a sole descendant of an Aedwin general, once who'd fought against Hadrick's rebellion. He scans the affidavit, a forgery and not the first I've seen. He hands it back to you, but I've no time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to his commander, Cliver, and show him the seal. He points at the wax stamped before his forged signature. If he compares it to another, he should be able to spot the difference. Agger's gaze flickens to you. Doom a man for the soul the gods gave him seems rather unfair. Is it? It looks as though... I don't know why he would say that. Or is that Isamar talking now? No, because she doesn't sound Scottish. Looks like as though you could use some help. Not at liberty to discuss my work. Unfortunately, Doomland wrote ears only. A civilian would need the confidence of Lady Web before I could share. What are you busy with? Holborn, growing unrest and the ever-present political intrigues. With so many missing souls, missing persons are the least of our concern these days. Tell me about your skills. I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I'm a cipher. In Elgafan, we were once known as Burscuffern, Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes, but it wasn't until the Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now, you make some of the best detectives in the world. Tracing souls, we can look at a person and see where they have been, or look at a weapon and see who has touched it. His nose twinges as he looks at you, useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine.
Keeping quiet.
I have no doubt. Keep losing stuff.
Nice and slow. Hey.
Sure.
Picture of all manner of folk are pinned to the board alongside notes, scribbled in an indecipherable shorthand.
Right.
There, I guess. Following me.
Ready, Watcher.
Yeah.
Yep. So, mosey on. Harbour at the base has been worn smooth by a passage of hundreds of feet. Certainly there will be. Okay, cookie. Skoopsy wooksy. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Benham's face is white. Just talked to that little cipher, did you? One of my no-fiats told me he'd seen someone in the records room. He takes a slow step towards you, extending his hand. Give me the affidavit. I've done nothing to you. His other hand comes to rest upon his sword. Your superiors deserve to know the truth. What truth? That over a century ago I was some Aedoran who dust in the ground down? His hands grips the sword upon him. I'll ask you once more time. Give it back. Don't be a fool, we're in public. He looks at you at the Noviets with him, which is why everyone will be shocked to hear that you assaulted a company of Crucible Knights without provocation, including one with such a spotless record as mine. Mate, did a really bad thing.
How bad?
Who's going to fear us?
Join on.
Every time I get close. Sweet. Every goddamn time. Pisses me off. That really does.
Ready, Watcher.
Gotta be more. Hey, lava.
Right. Thinking that guy was there either.
Join arms.
I feel like it just didn't wear a hat. Skeletons as well. How you can just kind of pressure skeletons.
Let's go. Let's
Oof. Alright. I'm gonna have to rest again. A cliff.
Laying low.
I'm gonna have to speak to to explore this. To the activists and the mysteries. Deal with them just yet.
Laying low.
Ready, Watcher.
Sure.
Cliff.
And what does the...
Oh, Young elf is dressed in gaudy robes and he seems ready to cast off. He picks at the heavily brocaded sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up at you. Did you send you to run me out of town? Out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without that medallion. I told Cyril I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puffs out his chest but glances at the exit. I'm not after you, but maybe I can help. He pulls up a shining button. That's a relief, but I don't see how. Cyril's our courtesan over at the Salty Mass in Order's Gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor, and send him her way. They have a good time, and Cyril takes her fee, and a little extra. He rubs his fingers together. 100 copper here, a trinket there. It's a bounty for us, and these lords and ladies never notice anything missing. That's dishonest. It's surviving. He points a finger, and one ruby ring catches a light. If those nobles have more wealth than they can hang on to, why should they keep it? Anyway, we always split the bounty until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. She takes a necklace of some noble. It's an enlivened medallion, damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. He tugs at the gold chain around his neck, and even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. Sagini brow furrows in pity. That's a hard thing. I could say that, but I would rather get the XP if I'm honest, right? Tell me about your situation. He picks at the helm of his sleeves. What do you mean? What makes this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Elgrafan with the Shattering Spear clan. We Garfathans have protected and within runes for thousands of years. It's the only duty the gods asked of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring in his pinky, but treasure hunters looted in the ruins in our territory, and we left the wilds we've delved in for generations. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around the Deerwood and probably live on crusts of bread. He looks at his embroidered robe with disgust. Restoring his medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. The Shattering Spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favour and so return home. It rather reminds me of a story I heard somewhere. Tell me about Cyril. She's a courtesan at the Salty Mask over in Order's Gift. She wasn't born to much, but she's done what she has in order to escape that. He gazes at a string of amber beads around his mouth. The more and more you talk to this person, the more you just don't want to help them. He's a good friend. He holds his arms and his trailing wrinkled sleeve. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held to for generations. You seem like you've done well enough for yourself. He clenches his heavily abtort hands. It was this or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan. But I give it all for the medallion. I offer two. It's worth more than anything I've got, and Cyril knows that. I still don't understand why you can't take your money and return to El Grafin. He sighs, arching his neatly plucked eyebrows. Of course I could, but that's not the point. A community isn't a place, it's a connection to history and meaning. He makes circles with his wrist, like an anchor. Defending the ruins of the gods gave us a purpose. Without that, we adrift. Does that make any sense to you? Somewhat. Somewhat. You know what it's like, how to care for anything, something you can't explain. Right, I'll see about getting that medallion. You'll find her at the Salty Mast. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying, so you'll have to go through Mia. She fidgets with his sleeve, but whatever you do, please don't hurt her.
Yeah. Hello.
This man is dressed in deep but functional clothes. His sun-wrinkled skin and limber musculature reflect his life spent in the wilderness. Well met. What brings you to the charred barrel? Is this your place? It's my retirement, he thumps the bar. Used to be a warehouse back to when Brakenbury saw more ship traffic, but it fell out of use when the area became mostly residential. I inherited it from some great uncle who'd never had any luck pawning it off to my cousins. Now, it's the most important spot in Brakenbury. The nobles come to unwind. A kiff from other districts come to mingle. He leans closer. We get a few rough types too, but they behave in here. Besides, the coins are as good as anyone else. And here's you. I was a cartographer and a duck for decades. He rubs his neatly stubbled cheek. Crossed the White March half a dozen times and mapped most of the ruins of ThomFnG. He grins, flashing a gold tooth. A good career, but one suited to a younger men. When I came back to Defiance Bay for good, Cliver and a few other friends and the Knights helped me get the rights to refurbish this place. There's strong ale, quality entertainment, and a fresh sea breeze. He raises a mug. What more could a man want? Any adventure here? Tires. Sell.
You're a newcomer to the Deerwood as well. What do you make of it so far?
The people here seem nice enough. These people are lunatics, yep. So you have met the locals. Ha, I don't know that they're so bad. There's a lot of fuss made of the Deerwood temper, but they seem to save it largely for each other. They're a rather refreshing bunch, otherwise I think I willed away an hour or two talking to the regulars in one tavern or another, and everyone from the merchant to the servant has an opinion to share. Say that again, mate.
Yes, my friend?
Look, please don't track dirt into my kitchen. The patrons here are particular. Go downstairs. Please. Bandits. Well, that's just lovely. Okay. Okay. Understood.
Laying low.
Into my soul, my will. Okay.
slow
Oh,
and
this
silent.
place is so expansive. It's crazy, man. With what you usually call grim die, she puts her hand on her hilt of her blade, jangled the jewels that hang from her wrist. We don't know each other, stranger. Best we keep it that way. What brings you to the charred barrel? Maerwith raises an eyebrow. What's that? What's it look like? Good wine and a little peace and quiet. She flips a copper coin on with her thumb, and Skirian doesn't ask too many questions. You don't seem like the Brakenbury local. I'm a sailor. She gives you a half smile and a liberator of certain goods. Maerwith casually fingers a large earring. And the nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask more.